Alrighty, so we are going to talk about theme. The theme is the lesson learned. This is what the author wants you to learn from their story. Okay. It is usually a broad idea about life, so it can be applied to several different stories. It is usually not stated but must be inferred, which means that you have to use your background knowledge and your text clues. Some of the common themes that we see when we're reading is 1. Acceptance. These stories have characters that accept and respect the differences and beliefs of others. 2. We have resourcefulness. These stories have characters that find clever ways to solve their problems. 3. Preparedness. These stories have characters that avoid trouble by being prepared and ready for any situation. Think about the 3 little pigs and how that third pig built his house out of bricks. He was prepared. Compassion. These stories have characters that care for and help those who are suffering. Courage. These stories have characters that are brave enough to overcome a fearful or difficult situation or accept a challenge. Next we have perseverance. These stories have characters that keep trying and never give up even when things do not work out at first. Then there are the themes of kindness. These stories have characters that are friendly, generous, and considerate to others' feelings. Then we have honesty. These stories have characters that learn that it is best to always tell the truth. Cooperation. These stories have characters that work together to complete a task or reach a goal. And friendship. We see this a lot. And this is the theme of a lot of stories that we read. These stories have characters that trust one another and remain loyal throughout the story. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a story titled The Crow and the Pitcher. Many years ago, a crow, nearly dead with thirst, came upon a pitcher which had been once filled with water. When the crow put his beak into the narrow mouth of the pitcher, he found that sadly there was very little water left in it, and he could not reach down far enough to get it. He tried and he tried, but at last he had to give up in despair. Then a thought came to him. He flew to the ground, grabbed a pebble with his beak, and dropped it into the pitcher. He noticed that the water level rose a bit when he dropped the pebble. So he took another pebble and dropped it into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped it into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped it into the pitcher. Then he took another pebble and dropped it into the pitcher. At last he saw the water mount up near him at the top of the pitcher. After tossing a few more pebbles in, he was able to quench his thirst and save his own life. So here we notice that if we were to look back at our common themes, the crow was very resourceful. He found a clever way to solve his problem by using the pebble. He persevered. He kept going. Pretty sure that he felt a little tired flying from the pitcher to the pebbles and carrying the pebble back in his beak. But he kept going as he watched the water level rise slowly. So he had to not give up. So here we have 2 themes, resourcefulness and perseverance, which is okay. An author may want you to learn 2 things from their story. So keep that in mind. We can have more than one theme or more than one life lesson being taught.